We have all heard the chit chat, the chatter, the rumor mill churn about Hallmark movies, the cheesy acting, the tropey, formulaic storylines, but they get constant attention and love. I mean, someone's watching them enough to constitute them constantly being made, so they can't be all that bad. I mean, besides, a lot of movies are formulaic. I think some tropes work, you know? So I thought before I give my opinions on Hallmark movies, I should see one maybe before I start having conversations about them. Maybe I should watch one. So I did. I know and accept people who watch Hallmark movies, by the way. So just a disclaimer, love and respect ya if you do. So if I end up not liking it, if I end up mocking it a little bit, not a personal attack. Enjoy your movies. Enjoy your Hallmark movies. I just wanted to peek behind the curtain, babes. I just wanted to get in on little jokes. I wanted to know. I mean, I had a pretty good idea. I did have a good idea. I didn't need to do this. I did, though. I picked a Christmas one. I was sort of operating under the assumption they only made Christmas movies. Did I think that? I think I thought that. Yeah, I definitely thought that. So I just picked one. They don't just make Christmas movies. I think I didn't do too much research into the into the lore of Hallmark. I just picked a movie and we're gonna watch that movie. Put ourselves in the know, you know? See what's going on over there. Maybe I was missing out. Maybe we've all been missing out. Maybe we've just been making these silly jokes. And we should have been on the inside enjoying them. You know, I love all types of movies. I like cheesy movies. I love rom-coms. Of course I'm a rom-com girl. Why not check out Hallmark? This could make top 10 for me. Who knows? We don't know. Well, since I've watched the movie now, I only had that intro before I started the before I started the movie. I've seen it now. Not top 10. Spoiler. It's exactly what we thought it was gonna be. Let's rock and roll, babes. It's called A Gingerbread Christmas. No, it's not. It's called A Gingerbread Romance. That makes more sense. Who is our romance between? Let me tell you. We have got Taylor. First time we see her, she's a little girl, and we learn that she has got a busy working girl mom who travels a lot. And little Taylor is like, oh, is Santa gonna be able to find us if we're moving around so much? And her mom's like, don't worry.
It's time to go.
Mom, what if Santa doesn't find us this time?
Remember what I told you before our last move? Wherever you hang your stocking is where Santa will find you.
Wherever you hang your stocking, Santa will find you. We move around. We're hard-working girlies. We move around. So Taylor grows up. She's exactly the same way. Zooming around, hardly gets to know her neighbors. She's got a neighbor now, Wendy.
Stranger, Merry Christmas. How was Tucson? Or was it Seattle? I'm sorry, Taylor, I can't keep all your travels straight.
It was LA this time, I think.
So you in town for Christmas? You've got to come by.
I'm not sure yet.
She's a hard-working girl. No roots. We gotta work. We've gotta architect buildings and cool places. And then we have this baker named Adam. Adam works at a little family bakery, right? And it's like not a creative outlet where he can do his fun little pastries. It's more classic. They have their everything pre-made, beginning of the day, give it out to the regulars, cute stuff like that. But he's got big dreams, big goals. But he's got a family, and he loves his family and his community. So he doesn't pursue them. You know, at home, he does his fun little baking stuff.
Proof your talents are going to waste at Ray's.
Not all that again.
Oh, what, Daddy? Your baking is always the best.
The kid's right, Adam. You're an artist in the kitchen. But at Ray's, you paint by numbers.
Then he goes to Ray's Bakery, and he bakes the cakes. We have our obvious tropes that, you know, Hallmark. Working girl, root family guy. Ugh. How will this end? Okay, so how do Taylor and our small town little baker man, begin their gingerbread romance? I will tell you, Taylor wants the Paris job, the architect Paris job, condos in Paris, building stuff.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Goodbye.
Wow, the mayor? What was that about?
Actually, it was partly about you.
Me.
So this is the infamous Hallmark acting. Y'all, the jokes justified. Jokes are justified. Anyway, Taylor, let's get to Taylor. Our corporate go-getter, busy girl. She wants the Paris job. She might get promoted, but in the meantime, her boss wants her to enter a gingerbread house building competition.
Need you to represent our firm as our designer.
You want me to design a gingerbread house?
A life-sized one. I mean, we're talking big.
If she does well for their firm, it's like a life-size gingerbread house they have to build. And it's for their company's reputation.
In the meantime, we need to do everything that we can to up our public profile.
How can I help?
She'll impress someone and someone will give her a job in Paris. I don't.
And it might convince the board to give me the Paris job.
Like, the mayor has to choose between different architect corporations and he's gonna go with who wins the gingerbread competition. Now, they have established that they're like important. She travels all the time, goes to different places, build these huge, nice buildings, major projects. But this small competition is for their reputation. And she's up against someone who used to be a coworker.
I hear that you and I are going to be going head to head. Or should I say gingerbread to gingerbread?
So you're doing the competition too?
Who left to join a rival firm. And he is also in the gingerbread competition. Like, it's their companies are entering and fighting against each other. And she gets paired with, not Adam, no. She gets paired with this famous French pastry chef girl. But they clash.
Every ship needs a captain, and I am ready to lead.
Taylor thinks being an architect makes her better than a baker to handle the situation. She's like, I'll take charge. I know what I'm doing. You need to listen to me.
So you would be in charge, huh?
Oh, absolutely.
The pastry chef is also a hard worker who takes charge because she's also a hard-working go-getter woman, but Taylor kind of thinks she's better than her. Taylor, she's planning the house out, right? When Adam comes in, he's delivering a cake for the Christmas party at their company. He gets icing on their plans. They don't get along. Ish.
Sorry, can't you just reprint your plans?
Can you just reprint your cake?
Unbelievable.
I mean, there's not really consistent acting, like real. Okay, I'm gonna get it out of the way. It's obvious, but my whole point is the commentary of this movie. The acting is bad. It is so surface level. No one really connects. There's not real rivalry where there's supposed to be rivalry. There's not real riffing where there's supposed to be riffing. It feels like a commercial acting. Like, even in bad movies, I feel like there's depth. There's no depth. And I'm not blaming the actors, especially this main actress. I love Sister.
That girl has my face!
From what I remember, the writing is very bad. The directing is not good. This movie was handled sort of like a really long commercial. Like, you never, even in commercials, I've teared up a little bit because we're convinced enough. This is bad. Are they all like this? Hallmark movies, please. Because I don't understand. Literally, some of the scenes don't make sense. None of the lines make sense. Anyway, Taylor, she gets a call. Annabelle, that genius pastry chef, that super cool lady, is not working with them.
Where does that leave us?
Chefless. Any ideas?
No. I'll figure out something.
Taylor, what happened?
Annabelle dropped me.
They met, and Annabelle was like, I'm going with the other architect team, obviously. So, Taylor, what's a girl to do? She's bakerless. She's calling everybody that she knows in the area, but it is almost Christmas, so they're booked and busy. Who does she turn to? Adam. Oh, shocker. Whoa.
How can I help you? Uh-oh, it's you. Brooke, hide the cakes.
Oh, it's you. This is so bad. Like, I can't even conceptualize how the acting turned out like this. Like, even with tropey written lines and a bad script, I don't understand how it ended up being not a single thing lands, not a single connection is convincing.
And what about a giant gingerbread house? Big enough to stand in. Could you make one of those?
I'm not sure I understand.
No dynamic is convincing. You don't ever get invested. I genuinely, I cannot comprehend this. Like, even in bad movies I've seen, it doesn't feel fake. It doesn't feel like a commercial, like just one big trope. Like, it just looks like someone wrote a really long skit making fun of the worst acting and amping it up, and that's But it's the movie. It's the actual movie. It's not a skit. It's the movie. So she's like, sorry, we got off on the wrong foot, but I need help. Can you help? And he's like, I'll consider it, but probably not. And like I said, the bakery he works at is quick, classic, make it in the morning, know your regulars, nothing crazy, nothing bonkers. But when in this competition, his family is like, you will get exposure, you can open your own business, and you can be more creative and do what you gotta do, babe. Do what you wanna do. Flourish.
Can't. I got a job. I got responsibilities and...
Ray's sons are in town to help him.
He talks to his sister, and he calls her. He calls Taylor. Whoa, shocker.
As difficult as it was for you to ask, it's just as difficult for me to...
Accept my offer?
He's like, yeah, I want my kid to see me do something that'll make me happy and inspired. So I'll do it. That's our team for the gingerbread house. They have 10 days. And I'm going to be honest with you. This seems such small scale. And it's like a small little stage show area. It's like only kids are around, handcrafted posters. This seems so small scale for something that they're amping up. Like it plays a big part in reputation. Like it would get him exposure and people would decide who gets the big project based on this. But then the place where it's going to take place looks like a small town theater room. I mean, it's cute and it's fun. It would be like a small town thing that would be cute. This is not a small town, by the way. So that's even more perplexing. What's going on? But two thriving and high level architectural firms are battling it out in this area like that's going to make or break them. And one of the best pastry chefs. The mayor's supposed to make a decision based on it. Not their work in architecture. They do work all around the world. And this is gonna... Okay, sure.
We're counting on you. So think cutting edge and be bold with your designs, and we can win this.
But no pressure, right?
Think cutting edge. Babe, it's gingerbread. So they get rocking and rolling, making this gingerbread house, teaming up. They immediately clash, just like she did with the other one.
Because that house doesn't look very Christmassy.
Not Christmassy. Well, what is that supposed to mean?
It looks like a 21st century gingerbread condo.
I'm on his side. I hate modern architecture. That sleek condo modern look is ugly. I don't like her vibe. Love the actress. Love Sister Sister. Just saying. Anyway, they keep arguing. She's all high and mighty. I'm the boss. I know architecture. You just bake things. Which is so silly. She wants it condo-esque. Like modern sleek to show off what she'd do with the condos if she got the Paris job, I guess. Or she just is like that. It's very silly. For this whole adventure of baking together, this kid kind of teaches her about the importance of roots and family and...
I have a hint too. When you cook with my dad, wear an apron, because a lot of things splash.
She teaches the kids stuff. Architect Taylor, her first job with baking is a timekeeper. Make sure the gingerbread is in the oven for the right amount of time. This scene, not important or relevant to the plot. When he's explaining the different gingerbread that he's testing out, the different gingerbread recipes.
Gingerbread batch number 2, I made with margarine instead of butter. And for our third experiment, I'm substituting corn syrup for molasses. This keeps the pastry from puffing out and maintains its shape.
It's not normal dialogue. It's not normal movie dialogue. And his tone is so infomercially. Not that anything else in this movie has been normal dialogue or normal acting. It is so infomercially that it feels like we're supposed to be following along at home and taking notes. I'm not trying to mimic your gingerbread recipe. He's like slowing down to tell us exactly the difference and how to do it and how it looks. And I get it for movie purposes, but they don't slip it in naturally.
The trick they don't teach you in culinary school. Butter improves the taste of everything.
It's so odd and stiff and weird. I'm not following along and taking notes and baking the gingerbread myself at home right now. Just so you know. I'm like, this is not necessary at all. It's simply not the situation. I think it's showing how smart he is and creative and off the dome he can do things. But it's not done in a natural way. Not that anything else in this movie is done in a natural way, but it's not done in a natural way. Or off the cuff comments. It's infomercially. It's so stiff. Nothing in this movie melds well together. And like, it's fair. He's very creative. He's like, I want calculated, sleek, and nice. No nonsense, no creativity. And he's like, no, we gotta see what sticks. Like, let creativity flow. She's not like that at all. So they clash a little. Whoa, essentially setting up that they're different people. Once they find a way to make all that work and balance each other out and find compromise, everything will be okay. She already messed up her timekeeping job, by the way.
Okay, so our first collaboration could have gone slightly better.
Our first collaboration could have gone slightly better. You're baking, things are gonna get burned, you're fine.
Well, after yesterday's fiasco, I wasn't sure.
I'd show up.
After yesterday's fiasco, I wasn't sure you'd show up. All she did, the first trial, one little tray of gingerbread got a little burned. Which happens when you bake, even if you're experienced. Things happen. Why? That wasn't a fiasco. There was no fiasco. That's the fiasco you thought would bring this whole thing down? Maybe she meant their argument, but there wasn't one. Like, there's no real... They're trying to do the whole tropey enemies to lovers, tension to lovers, rivals to... But they're too jokey and fake. They're not clashing, really. They just argue, and the next thing they're fine and best friends.
But no one will taste it. You should be concerned with durability.
I've never compromised on taste, and I'm not about to start now.
And you went to culinary school?
Long story.
It's like, there's no weirdness or tension that makes you excited to see how their relationship goes. You're not drawn in any way, shape, or form. Like, what are you talking about? Not even arguing when they argue. It's like no tension, no passion, no fire, no zhuzh, no oomph, no acting. That's the word. No acting. Yeah, that's what I meant.
You always make your own coffee?
It's the most important tool we got.
Okay. I see your point.
Said aloud. Is this just a Folgers commercial? Is that why we're having surface level commercial acting? That it's just a Folgers commercial? They reveal their tragic backstories, which is just she moved around a lot.
Some kids collect dolls. I collected passport stamps.
Always deep down wanted a classic homey home to hang her stocking and have roots.
So you don't miss hosting your own traditional Christmas?
Wherever I hang my stocking, it's Christmas. I mean, of course, I love all of that. It's just life turned out differently.
And he wanted to be a world-renowned pastry chef, and it took a different turn. He lost his wife, or she left. I don't know.
See, that I understand. 'Cause I was gonna be a world-famous pastry chef.
It's never too late.
So, they bring their interns in and have a team help them make their gingerbread house. Neighbors, her neighbor Wendy, volunteers to help. People notice they clash.
Yes, but...
You're driving on my sidewalk.
And aren't meshed personalities, and it's tense. Or it's supposed to be.
Is that comment directed at me?
It's not. This is so boring.
I like a challenge. Besides just working with you.
Very funny.
Besides just working with you. This acting, man. There is no chemistry. No organic back and forth. That's why it feels so stiff and fake. Like nothing feels organic. I don't know what's going on here. What happens behind the scenes in a movie to make the acting from every single person come off like this?
In the kitchen, you got good at predicting who needs what and when. And you made a face.
So they're good now? This was supposed to be like rivals to lovers, and there was no tension, no rivalry. They just found a way to make their different personalities meld, and now they're finishing each other's sentences and everything's perfect. Okay, movie over. No. The infomercial thing, like I was talking about when it was showing his different baking gingerbread recipes, happens again when she's explaining to Brooke how to make a template for her Christmas project.
Just think of it as a Christmas cookie cutter. Our reindeer. All we need to do is cut it out. There, we've got a master stencil to create all the reindeer we need.
Like, I'm not trying to make this stencil.
Wow, thanks, Taylor.
You don't have to act it out like this step by step for me. I get it's showing their connection, that Brooke and Taylor are really close now. It's been a day, by the way. Who wrote this? Who directed it? Like I said, infomercial. I'm not making a template right now at home. They're starting to like ignite that dream in her again, where she was a kid and she wanted a place to keep her stocking, a classic, like home, to have roots, a place to call home.
Use fennel sausage and truffle oil.
Hey, honey, those are trade secrets. Guess Taylor's now in our circle of trust.
They're reigniting that spark in her. And now they're suddenly perfect and working in tandem and finishing each other's sentences.
Hey, can you,
Take the last tray out of the oven.
Yeah.
I'm on it.
can you, pass me the,
Spatula? Here.
It's the second time they've hung out and worked on this.
I'd say our second collaboration is a teeny bit better.
But he's also finishing his boss's thoughts, so.
I've had customers here for the last 20 years.
And our customers only want the basics, yeah.
He takes her shopping for Brooke, and they bond and have emotional revelations again. You don't care. Like, there's not a point where you're connected to the. Anyway. She's like, oh yeah, I did want a house, and I did want a place to hang my stocking.
Always wanted a chandelier in my imaginary house. When I was a kid, I had a vision of the perfect house. I sketched it out and everything.
And Christmas is super important to me. But you know, busy working girl, some of that stuff's gotta slide through the cracks. I am who I am. And they get back to her house. Taylor is enamored. They string up popcorn together. Sorry. Both of their livelihoods rely on this gingerbread competition. That has been established. Exposure for him, a job for her. They are taking their sweet time doing everything else in the world. Shopping, stringing popcorn to put on a tree. I'd be baking and decorating. They have to make a life-size gingerbread house in like 8 days. 6 days. 6 days. They have 6 days left. Okay.
There's 2 things we need before we start decorating.
What?
Inspiration and Brooke.
I just wish there was acting and chemistry. That's all I ask for. This is just a long Folgers commercial. That's what I'm going with. I'm critiquing a Folgers commercial. So, also, they're building right next to her rival. Like their competition. Everyone's building it together on a stage. No dividing, no... not even a sheet or a curtain. They can all see each other's plans. That doesn't make sense to me at all. I have so many questions about the competition. They all look at decorated Christmas houses for inspiration, I guess. They're planning it out, brainstorming, shopping more. They have 6 days. First real conflict. Taylor wanted thin gingerbread to make the classic sleek condo looking design. And Adam was all, I don't think it's really going to support that kind of design. We need it to look different. And Taylor's like, no. So they make that thin gingerbread.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh?
It's cracking.
No!
That's what I was worried about. These thin sheets of gingerbread are too fragile.
And I told you the thin sheets are what works best with my design, remember?
Remember, I told you if it's too thin, they're gonna crack.
Well, it looks like we've got a problem.
It starts to crack immediately. They have to nix everything, even though she wanted to show off her architect skills so she could get her architect job. And he was like, it doesn't matter where you want. The gingerbread's not going to be supported. The gingerbread is not going to work like that. You can't outwill baking. So the second they start applying the gingerbread she wanted, it cracks. And she's like, figure it out.
Better figure that out.
Revolutionary insight. Adam's plan is they go do something else.
My mom always taught me, if you can't solve a problem, you gonna do something else, because that's when you figure it out.
Do you know how much work we have to do?
Come on.
Okay.
So they go ice skating. When you do something else, that's when you solve a problem. They don't solve the problem, actually.
Did the skating make you come up with any new ideas?
I'm still stumped about my design, but this was fun.
They just go ice skating. Yeah, when I'm stressed from limits and projects and deadlines, I also like to ignore them and go do something else and just not do it. Does not ever fix the problem, but did not solve the problem for them. Does not solve the problem for me. I think it's supposed to just show them connecting more, obviously. I get the point of the scene, but it's not natural. It's so weird. Show them connecting more outside of the gingerbread building and like amp up their connection. It wasn't a necessary scene though. They don't come up with anything except
Maybe the new cutting edge could be tradition.
maybe traditional can be cutting edge.
Now we're back to the drawing board. I'm afraid Linda won't be happy.
You'll figure it out. You're you.
Thank you, Joss.
You'll figure it out. You're you. No one in this movie is helpful. It was not a necessary scene, like most of them. What does she do? Taylor goes with her childhood self, who designed. She drew on a piece of paper. She drew this house that she wanted, like a roots, classic, nice, traditional Christmas home. And she finds that drawing, and she's like, I know what we should do. We should go with the classic gingerbread house. What is it? 4 days left, 5 days left. It doesn't seem like doing bricks 3 at a time in a small oven makes any sense to me, and it's only 2 people. I fear they don't have time to lollygag and come up with plans 3 days before the end of the competition. But what do I know? I'm not a baker or an architect, so maybe this makes total sense. And the competition is just watching them. Like, again, no rush. Baking and decorating, no rush. No.
We may have lost a day, but we are almost on track. Tomorrow, we're gonna have to pick up the pace.
3 days left. So they did that house in 1 day. Taylor gets a call. Taylor gets a call.
Can you say Joyeux Noël?
What do you mean?
She's the front runner for Paris because she's taking the reins in this project. I thought the project winner determined Paris, but she's to fly out to Paris on Christmas Eve anyway. There's still 4 days. Meaning they built that house in a day? No, they didn't. Her dream job offer. She gets it. Back to the story. But she's not excited because she's gonna have to leave Adam.
That's so soon.
I thought you'd be more excited.
Who, by the way, she met 4 days ago.
It's a little more decorating.
Look at this damn house.
Where did everyone go?
It took them a day to do that. Sorry. This movie couldn't have shown more of their team helping them, more of people being in a rush in the background. Make it anything believable. What, did the power of Christmas drive them? Did the power of Christmas do this? Boss lady shows up.
That is not the plan we discussed. But I love it.
She's like, we didn't discuss this, but love, and reveals she's going to Paris.
Au revoir.
What does she mean?
We need to talk.
Why is she so nervous for her boss? Just for her to be like, love, we need to talk. They just met. They just met. The judging of the gingerbread houses.
Now it's the moment we've all been waiting for.
Only 4. None of them look like gingerbread. They look like cardboard. And they name it A Home for the Holidays.
Northern Tower. Now, may I present our final gingerbread house, A Home for the Holidays.
And the winner
Of our first giant gingerbread contest is A Home for the Holidays.
is them. They win. Their classic home, traditional home design wins. Shocking. Whoa. Should I have, amped that up for you? No, you know. We know. And Taylor tells Brooke she has to leave. They do their goodbyes. She's watery-eyed, telling everybody Merry Christmas. They just met.
Are you really leaving on Christmas Eve?
Oh, sweetie. I have to.
Packing up her stuff, gives her keys to her neighbor, and she leaves. And Adam is at the bakery, and his boss is like, people have been coming in for days asking about your gingerbread, your cakes, your specialized small stuff. This is a generic bakery that just does the cookie cutter stuff, the classic, ready, everybody knows what they're getting. People have been coming in and asking for you.
All of a sudden, we have people coming in here every 5 minutes asking for your cakes.
And wanting you to do these special projects. And Adam's like, are you gonna fire me? His boss is like, no, we're gonna partner up, actually.
It sounds pretty good to me.
You are gonna have your own little shelf, your own little area. You can do whatever you want, and we will be the local bakery they've come to love and accept. And you can also flourish and make your fun little stuff and put it in a window and sell your stuff and be a pastry shop. Bakery and bakery. You have your freedom, you have your dream. And Ray also encourages Adam to go after Taylor. We're gonna get a run through the airport scene.
Thank goodness, I thought I missed. Wendy, is Taylor here?
Sorry, Adam, I was just boxing up some of her things. She was in a hurry. She left for the airport a couple hours ago.
No, we don't. Her plane left. So he just goes back home. However, she did not get on said plane. She saw a little kid's iPad drawing of a family together. Hate seeing technology movies. She saw a little kid's iPad drawing of a family next to a house. And she was like, oh, I could have that. She calls her boss, misses her flight, shows up at Adam's.
What are you doing here?
I'm sorry. I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
I thought you'd left. Come in.
Now, she is heading a project here, a huge major project here instead of the Paris job that pays more. So she didn't even get fired or anything for being like, hey, I'm not getting on that plane and I'm not doing the Paris job. They were like, okay, do a bigger one, get paid more, stay here. Also, sorry, she's staying here, missed our flight, and this is their exchange.
But what about Paris, your dream?
I've got everything I've ever dreamed of. right here.
So you're staying?
I am.
Great. Then you can come to my grand opening.
No emotion, no connection, just I work here now. I work here now. I get to do this. There is no connection, no good dynamic in this movie. This is so disappointing and boring.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Dad, who are you talking to? Taylor, you're here?
Like, if you're gonna write a formulaic, cheesy movie, make it good. Have good, well, make it as good as it can be, or write lines that make sense and give direction and expect your actors to have depth. Did they film this in 6 days? Oh my gosh, the gingerbread competition is a representation of Hallmark. They do it in 8 days, lollygagging when they should be doing other stuff. I crack the code. Anyway.
Now, how about we go check out those new skates I see under the tree?
Look, Taylor.
Like, it seems like they don't even know each other. I mean, they don't, but it seems like the movie wants you to think they know each other and they're in love and meant to be and gonna be home for the holidays now. But then they're acting like, oh, cool, I have a new job. Oh, cool, you have a new job? Let's shake on it. There's no depth. There's no depth. There's not a single exchange in this movie or line of dialogue that is anything but skit behavior. It's not convincing. I hate it. And I don't want to hate it because it's cute, but like, who directed and wrote this? It is commercial acting. I cannot get over this. No enthusiasm, no spark. I'm not even crying. I'm always crying. In conclusion, that was a gingerbread Christmas. That was a gingerbread Christmas. What's this movie called? Gingerbread Romance? That was a gingerbread romance. Why did I watch? Oh, first Hallmark movie. Last Hallmark movie. Exactly what I expected, but I expected to like secretly be impressed. Be like, oh, this is a little bit better than the skits and jokes people make about movies like this. Like, I got my big city working girl, no roots, goes home, meets guy, stays there, who has roots, everybody loves Christmas movie. And there's a kid. Of course there's a kid. Questionable plot, poor acting, giving up important life decisions for someone you met 6 seconds ago. I got it. I don't know what else I was expecting. I was genuinely expecting more than the skits and jokes made about these movies. I cannot get over how there was no chemistry between anybody, that every exchange was so awkward and fake. Surface level is how I would describe it. I cannot emphasize how much this does not feel like a movie. Watching my first and last Hallmark movie. Thank you for enduring it. Also, if you did, that's all I got for you. Thanks for watching if you did. I don't blame you if you didn't. I mean, watch this instead of watching the movie. Goodbye.